News Channel 18 at 6 with Gina Quattrochi and Jeff Smith. News from where you live.
I would hope they take a look and say, Joe's the guy who wants to work together. Joe's the guy who wants to fight for jobs.
Democratic U.S. Senate candidate Joe Donnelly is asking people who supported Richard Lugar to take a look at him and possibly cross party lines to elect him to the U.S. Senate. Good evening, I'm Jeff Smith.
And I'm Gina Quattrochi. Thank you for joining us. A victory for Republican Richard Murdock in last night's primary has many already discussing the matchup between Republican Murdock and Democrat Joe Donnelly in the upcoming general election.
News Channel 18's Alex Dyro joins us now with continuing coverage of that Senate race. Alex?
Jeff, the race to watch this primary was the race for the U.S. Senate seat. 36-year Senate vet Richard Lugar was unseated last night by State Treasurer Richard Murdock. Now talk is turning to the general election and whether Murdock will drum up the same support to win the seat for the party. On the heels of Republican Senator Richard Lugar's Senate loss, those who supported the six-term senator aren't wasting much time reflecting on the primary, but instead looking toward the general election this fall. Tippecanoe County Republican Committee Treasurer Mark Davis was a strong supporter of Lugar's. He says he's willing to rally behind Murdock now, even though he prefers Lugar's form of governing.
Although I'm all for newer, younger, fresher faces, I'm also for a sense of governance that occasionally reaches out to solve problems. And I think that's probably why I was a big Lugar supporter.
But Democrats are hoping Lugar's loss will help them in the general election. Democrat Joe Donnelly will be facing off against Murdock in November. He's encouraging voters to take a look at his more moderate views and hopefully cast a vote for him.
I think if you're a Senator Lugar voter, you ask who best reflects the ideals, the service, and the vision of Senator Lugar. I would hope they take a look and say, Joe's the guy who wants to work together. Joe's the guy who wants to fight for jobs.
And recent polls indicate that Lugar would have fared better against Donnelly than the newly nominated Murdock. But local Tea Party activist Don Brown says keeping a candidate in office for the sake of winning isn't what the party wants.
To keep Lugar in there just for the sake of winning the election and keeping that seat Republican is not good enough. We want people with the principles.
Murdock took the primary by a landslide vote of 61% to Lugar's 39%. Alex Dyro, News Channel 18.